right, let's go. Let's get this. One of the biggest challenges with mindset is this. When you grow up not having a lot of money, right? Maybe you're middle class, maybe you're lower middle class. You don't make much money. You don't come from money, right? And so you get the money and two things happen. You either hoard it or you spend it, right? And so for me, initially, man, making good income to be, I was like, man, I'm making money now, I can spend it. And so it's critical that when you're making money and you're building your mindset that you have to save and invest this money and make it work for yourself too.
Sold out service, and you know we've been working. We serving, we earning. The watches, it's hurting. Big heart, but it started with Chris. Seen a lot when it comes to this biz. Don't serve, don't earn. They gotta shift keys to be a capitalist.
I read this book back in 2018, Sticking to a Millionaire Mindset, and it talks about really the internal spirit and mindset around money and how you view money. And I read it back in 2018. It's crazy that at the time I read it, my income was probably around 150K a year I was making. No crazy income. I'm in business for myself. I'm on the West Coast. I'm in California. And I'm expanding to the East Coast. I'm still living in Southern California. And my mindset's shifting and changing. I'm going hard in the paint. I'm working hard. And my whole entire view on money is changing. I read that book, man. I had a quantum leap in my income. My income more than tripled the following year. But one of the key things he talks about in the book is if you want to get rich, focus on making, keeping, and investing your money. One of the biggest challenges with mindset is this, guys. I'll speak for myself, and maybe you can connect or relate with it. When you grow up not having a lot of money, right? Maybe you're middle class, maybe you're lower middle class. I see so many athletes do it. I see people who come to fame do it quickly. You don't make much money. You don't come from money, right? And so you get the money, and two things happen. You either hoard it or you spend it, right? And so for me, initially, man, making good income in the beginning, I was like, man, I'm making money now, I can spend it. Let's go out and let's buy this, let's get this here, because it's like it's like you haven't breathed. You're like, I'm suffocating here. I can breathe now, I can go buy that, I can get this here. What happens with most people, if you keep down that path, you lose all the money. You're making money, and it's not always a shiny day. There may be a rainy day at some point in time in your career, in your business.
I can't stand up.
And so for me, I read a book called The Laws of Success, and it really talked about saving money and making money. And I saved money, and luckily I saved money because a time came in my transition, moving across country, where income dropped a bit. I was reestablishing a business, reestablishing an office, and the income wasn't quite what it was when I was on the West Coast. And guess what happened? Because I saved, I was able to maintain during the season of transition and expansion to reinvest back into my business and go play offense. And so it's critical that when you're making money and you're building your mindset that you have to save and invest this money and make it work for yourself too. I didn't grow up poor, man. I don't want you to think Chris was poor, man, living in the streets. No. I grew up middle class, lower middle class at times, around that, right? And we didn't have a lot of money, right? But I remember like my mom and my stepfather being servant leaders, man, involved in the church, man, volunteering. My mom was an evangelist. My stepdad was a pastor. He passed away in 2014. And when I was a young kid, we would go to the streets of South Central LA, and my mom had a bullhorn. She would preach the gospel, man. I'm there, man, 7, 8 years old, sitting there, right, on a Saturday morning, right? She's preaching the gospel, all that kind of stuff. Luckily, around age 10, I started playing part one of football so I can get out of it. But I saw us giving, serving. We didn't always have a lot, but we were giving and serving. And I saw people who were rich. You would see people who were rich and despise them, look down on them, right? And I grew up in a gospel where like it was like, hey, to struggle is not a problem, it's okay. We count it a blessing, more of a James poverty type of gospel, right? And so I'm seeing people struggling financially. I despise rich people. You see somebody rich, you see someone in a nice car, and you say, man, You look down on them. Well, that person's probably greedy. Whoever you despise, you won't become.
Whoever you despise, you won't become.
You're like, okay, cool. If someone's wealthy, they have money, they have abundance, you despise them. Your integrity, your heart won't allow you to become that person. So the first thing you got to check at the door for saying, man, Chris, I want to build a wealthy mindset. I want to become a millionaire. I want to make money. I want to build wealth and give to others. You can't despise wealth. And so I eventually grew up and I started getting the right mentors in my life. And I realized that, okay, most people who I know have money are good people. All money does is this. The book says it. I knew it. The book says the money exposes your heart. Whoever you are, if you get more money, you'll do more of it. And so one of the true rules to your mindset is if you're going to go down that path and say, I want to build wealth, you cannot despise wealthy, rich people, because one day
aren't you going to become that person?
So you can't despise who you are, right? It's like self-hate. And so that's one thing I got from the book that was really big for me around just realizing that, okay, you can't despise the rich. I think one of the first strategies the book talks about is that you naturally replicate your parents' income generating strategies, right? So however your mom and dad made money, the view on money, normally comes your view on money. And so for me, mom and dad did a phenomenal job of raising me. My dad was always a provider. I would see my dad on weekends, always there for me. He paid his dues and everything that was due to my mom. He took care of businessman. He was a providing man. My dad's cap on income is somewhere between probably 80 to 125K a year. Nothing wrong with that. That's what he made. My mom was had a daycare. She would take care of kids in the house. I don't know my mom's financial statement, but my mom probably didn't crack 6 figures a year. They make money by trading time for dollars. They're workers, kind of like I have a video with Robert Kiyosaki saying the rich don't work for money. My parents work for money, which is not a rich mindset, it's more of a poor mindset. It's what we all do. And so I grew up seeing that, and I realized at some point in time, I said, okay, cool, I'm making 50K a year at a job, a company called Circuit City. I'm going through making 85K a year. I'm at Apple, I'm cracking 100K a year. I'm like, man, okay, cool, I'm working, trading time for dollars. I gotta watch what's my money blueprint? What was downloaded into my operating system as a kid growing? And so many of us have a money blueprint around money and finances, on how we earn income. And most of the time, it was an OS that was a software downloaded to your OS that you didn't even agree with. It was your parents, it was your teachers, it was your dean, your mentors. So for me, I decided to say, let me hang around people who are making way more than me. I want a mentor that's making way more than me so I can think the way he thinks and I can have what he has. And so for if you're looking at saying I'm going down a path to become a millionaire one day, to make good money, build more wealth for myself, I gotta get around people who have what I want so I can learn how they think. And then it becomes who I am, because making money is not exterior. It's all internal in the heart and the mind. Yeah, whatever you don't manage well, you'll lose. Simple as that. You'll lose it. You don't manage relationships well, you'll lose them. You have a girlfriend, you're not managing that relationship, you're gonna lose her. You're not paying her attention, not taking care of her, you'll lose her. Same thing for boyfriends, you'll lose them. And so if you're someone saying, man, I want to acquire money, I want to acquire wealth, I want to increase my income, I'm a business owner. When you get the money subconsciously, in the eternal spirit of money in your heart, what do you do with it? Do you produce more? Do you reinvest? Do you hire people? Do you expand that money? Do you make it grow for you? Are you giving back to your community? And so when getting money, I think one of the first skill sets is that you gotta have a skill set out there to go out there and work hard, make money. Okay, cool. We can all do that. But once we get the money, how do you manage the money? That's a millionaire mindset. Do you sit down and go over accounting? Do you have a CPA? Do you have a tax preparer? Are you investing your money? Are you growing your money? Are you expanding your money? Do you have insurance? Do you buy stocks, crypto? What do you believe in? Are you doing those? And I see so many people make money, and again, not quite sure what to do with it. And for me, in order to want to go make more money, I have to see the money multiplying for me and doing more in my life, because it inspires me to go work for more of it. And so as I get the money, I sow into the kingdom, as I do certain things, as I invest my money, as I pour into my kids' life, as I take care of my parents and do certain things, it excites me, it gives me energy and say, okay, cool, I'm managing what was given to me. Let me go get more now. Because I know if I go get more, I'm inspired to wake up. That's why so many people reach a certain income level when they slow down. Like, man, what more can I do? I'm gonna tell you right now, to go from $500,000 to 1.5 to 5 mil to 10 mil in income, different levels, man. Different levels there. You make 10 mil a year, you make $500,000 a year, different levels. 1.2 mil a year in income, 20 mil a year in income, you can make a different impact on the world. But if you don't know what to do with that, you haven't seen the positive output of that money, guess what happens? You slow down. So in conclusion, if you're saying, man, Chris, I'm somebody, man, who wants to acquire more wealth, I want to get more income, I highly suggest reading the book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset by Harv Eker. The book is phenomenal. I've read it 3 times now. Each time I read the book, I add on a different level of understanding around money and finances, and what it can do for my life. I don't care if you're making minimum wage or making over $1 million a year cash flow. This book will take your business to the next level, your mindset to a level where you can learn new things to acquire more wealth for yourself.